Hey guys, Rick Jones here, hoping that you can hear me clearly while I do this little segment. So I wanted to talk to you a little about my trip here at Barcelo Bavaro Palace for my all-inclusive vacation. And I know that some of you out there can have a little bit of trouble staying in shape when you're on holidays. So I wanted to share with you a few tips and tricks that I do in order to make sure that, I can keep on track and not do damage to the body that I have worked so hard for to maintain over the course of the year, as you all do too when you want to get together that beach body. So the things that I was able to do in order to stay a little bit more disciplined was to establish a routine while I'm down here. So what I would do is I would wake up in the morning and I would have breakfast. And with my breakfast, I keep it similar to what I usually do at home. So I would have perhaps, 2 to 3 eggs, and I would have, a slice of toast. At home, I would usually do yogurt, but I would do Greek yogurt. And over here on the resort, they don't really have Greek yogurt. What they have is plain yogurt or flavored yogurt. So that's my alternative, and that pretty much settles it for breakfast. When I then go off to the gym, I do my training. I usually work out for approximately 45 minutes to an hour, which is really not that bad. But I guess I have to tell you as well that while I'm at the gym here, it's not the same machines that I'm accustomed to using at home. So that's something that you have to keep in mind as well when you go on holidays, is that you can't really expect to have the same equipment that you have at home. So you may have to adapt your exercises to what you have around you. What works for me is usually just a split routine, but modified. So I would actually, no, that's not true. What actually works for me, I would say, is a full body routine. So really, I would just go ahead and find the exercises where I can really work out my chest, I can work out my shoulders, I can work out my legs, and I can work out my back. So with those exercises, with those machines in the gym, usually you're able to cover those basic exercises. I don't really do anything fancy or anything funky because, first of all, you have to share the gym, you have to share the equipment that's there. And second of all, well, again, it's not the same routine as I'm accustomed doing. So I just want to keep things simple while I'm on vacation. So after I finish off with my training, I usually have a protein shake. And let's just say the protein shake is really just some whey powder that I asked the guy at the bar to blend with half fruit juice and half water and add in some ice. So again, I really try to keep things simple in terms of, what's required to get that protein intake for the day. It's difficult, I must say, to maintain that. But, you do what you can, and you have to be a little bit flexible when it comes to what, you're going to get in terms of food available, and balance that out with, the diet that you're accustomed to based on your goals. So for me, my goals is always looking to have at least 120 grams of protein per day. If I can achieve that, that is a win. So that's at least 4 courses, 4 meals, I should say, not 4 courses. That's at least 4 meals where I can, aim between 30 to 40 grams of protein. If I can achieve that, I don't look at carbs. I don't look at fats. I just don't. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the protein is what's, the hardest to achieve. Everything else, I mean, you can't really count calories. There's no way to really measure because all the food is prepared for you. So doing that ensures that I get my protein intake. So I head off then, to either the pool or the beach where I can just relax, and of course, the drinks. All right, so that's a little bit more difficult to manage for me personally. Of course, you'll meet friends. Well, I've met friends, I've met people around, and you get to talking, and then they invite you to have a drink with them. And I mean, you don't want to really, be that party pooper and say no. So I would have a drink or two. But I find that what really helps is if I alternate between having a drink and having a glass of water. And usually that keeps me saturated to not overdo it on the drinks. I did, however, one day started overdoing it with the shooters, and that I had to pay the price the next day because I ended up spending the whole night puking my guts out. And the next morning, I was nauseous until a good part of the day. I would say roughly at around 3 to 5 p.m. That's when, I started being able to ingest food again and actually would be able to have conversations with people. So it'll happen to you, if you're on vacation on holidays, but just try, try your best, don't be too hard on yourself, because it's not easy at the end of the day, being disciplined when you have tons of food around you, tons of drinks at your disposal, and everybody around you is here to have fun. So if you can manage that, I would say that you're on the right track nutrition-wise, and you're on the right track for weight training to maintain your shape. The last thing that I wanted to mention to you guys, I would say to try to keep in mind the rest, because that in fact is something that is important for you to maintain your look. So if you're able to get your hours of sleep, I know sometimes depending on the hotel, there may be a vibrant nightlife that makes it a little bit more challenging for you to accomplish that. But if you can get, your hours of sleep, I try to aim for between 6 to 8 hours, but it's usually around 6 hours that I get while I'm on vacation. So a little bit deprived, but nothing too crazy. And it works for me. I mean, you don't want to necessarily want to sleep your way your vacation. You kind of want to enjoy the time that you're here because it is so limited. So that is something that you should keep in mind. Oh, and one other thing, on those days that you do overdo it on the drinks and you don't feel well, don't go training that day. Don't go to the gym. Just give your body a chance to recover, just to get back to normal, because your eating's going to be off, your energy's going to be off, and it's just going to be a waste of time training. So if you can keep those few things in mind, I think that you should be okay to maintain the look on vacation, and at the same time keep that balance where you can enjoy yourself. So on that, I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I just wanted to check in to let you know that I am enjoying my vacation, but at the same time, I am making sure that, I don't overdo it, because I don't want to lose the progress of the body that I've maintained over time. So on that, everyone, have a wonderful day, and I will check in with you all later. See you.